from the Broncos' pre-draft visits. Are they showing their hand in any way, or are they throwing off the scent with some of these visits? Would they do that, Cease? We know Sean likes to play the game.
Right.
And you loved, and I loved it, and you got it out of him, kind of the let's throw off the scent to the Minnesota Vikings a year ago. To everybody, the Vikings just took the bait the hardest about J.J.
And now won't name J.J. McCarthy their starter.
Sean duped him, and now they're not sold on J.J. McCarthy.
Right.
Way to go, Sean Payton. Would they use any of these 30 visits to throw off the scent, or is this legitimate, like, we got business to do, and let's learn about 30 of these dudes?
Well, the great thing about these 30 visits is you only get 30 of them, and it may not be for now. And what I mean by that is, let's say you don't draft one of the players they brought in is DJ Giddens, the running back from Kansas State, who I really, really appreciate as a day 3 pick. A guy below Devin Neal for me in the rankings, below Cam Scadaboo in the rankings, but still really strong candidate. As you get to the 4th round, you still don't have your running back? Yeah, DJ Giddens on the board, you could take him. He might last till the 6th. We'll see, especially if Devin Neal lasts to the 5th. I don't necessarily see that, but whatever. We'll see where the running back run is. Let's say you don't get DJ Giddens, and he goes somewhere, and the team uses him, but maybe not enough, and he's a free agent. Well, you can go, remember when we had the 30 visit and we really liked him and we had him ranked here? So it's not just for this year, but it's also for their entire career. Like, once a team expresses that they like you, they like you.
Yeah.
Unless you screw up your top 30 visit.
Sure.
Right? Dak Prescott famously missed the flight from Orlando where he was training to Denver for his 30 visit, or else the Broncos might have just stayed put at 31. Patriots lost a pick that year. After they won the Super Bowl,
That's
2016.
Hey, he's off the board.
Yeah. You can't even beat traffic, show up for your workout? Like, done.
Mm-hmm.
And Gary Kubiak loved him, and he would have been perfect for Gary Kubiak, unlike, as we learned, Paxton Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
Not very perfect for Gary Kubiak and what he wanted to do. Dak Prescott, they liked him. So these visits, Quinshon Judkins from Ohio State, they may or may not get him. He could be the answer for them as their starting and lead running back if you can get him in the 2nd or 3rd round. That's where both Ohio State backs should go. I know some recent mocks have TreVeyon Henderson going in the 1st. Mm-hmm. I believe that's too high.
It's late. It's usually late first.
Late
still,
first, right. And
you.
if it's Kansas City at 31 taking Henderson, that would make a lot of sense for them. If the Broncos at 20 take Henderson, it's a little high. I think Hampton at 20 is a little high for me, point blank period. But you look at these guys now, and then you look at them for the future there as well. So if they're a free agent, if you come up in a trade conversation, you're going to go back to this visit and what you thought about him on film at college and how much you liked him in person.
Who's better, Giddens or Judkins?
Judkins, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, both of them run with some power. Judkins runs with violence.
Oh, I like
lots
that.
and lots and lots of violence. Giddens was the guy that Shiloh couldn't tackle in the CU game where he posterized him, basically. So Giddens kind of a slasher with some power. He does have power to his game. Judkins is power and maybe to some surprising speed. But for me, it's always pad speed. Like Terrell Davis ran a 4.6 40. You didn't really see him caught from behind very much in the NFL. So with Judkins, he's not Terrell Davis, but he's the type of player that's going to bring power and violence to the field and surprising speed for some.
I like power and violence. This is interesting. Kevin just told me that their pre-draft visits last year, and some of this is just the way the cookie crumbles. The only player they drafted that they met with was Bo Nix. Now, that's the one you want to hit if you're going to hit one of those.
Right.
But that does tell me it's such a crapshoot. You're taking 30 of these guys, and Kevin, this might be too much research, but like, were any of them available when the Broncos were on the clock? You know what I mean? Like, that takes care of itself based on the teams in front of you.
Right. You've got to do all of your research possibly on these players, and, well, the Broncos are doing that. And with those 2 running backs specifically, I like the idea in what they're looking for, because that may give us the clue. We're always looking for clues. We don't have many. We're going to get some at the owners' meetings coming up next week. But what are the clues in what the Broncos want to do? What kind of back do they want? Well, Judkins has power, and I compare him to Brian Robinson with the Commanders. So if you like what you've seen from Brian Robinson, their lead back, and of course they have Austin Eckler there as a change of pace back, Judkins is that sort of player. So he's going to bring power. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with. He's going to be an after-contact guy. He's going to love the contact. You're not. And then he's got the speed to run by you in a somewhat surprising way.
Absolutely love that. A couple of the other names. I find it interesting that you and I, yesterday, we literally said, nope, still take 2 running backs and still take 2 tight ends. And the Broncos, when you look at the list of top 30 visits so far, Judkins and Giddens as running backs, Gunnar Helm and Latu as tight ends. Latu from Washington up there. Also a wide receiver from Wisconsin, Bryson Green. Quarterback Cam Miller from North Dakota State. I like your idea, Cecil. You just take one every year, see what you can get out of it.
Yeah.
And then a offensive lineman in Trey Weddage of Indiana, who had some success this year with a new coach and everything going there. Offensive line, I don't mind either. Garrett Bowles and Mike McGlinchey aren't going to be here forever. And Ben Powers has, a year left on his deal?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to start to look at what those cabinets may look like after this year. So I like all of the positions that have been brought in as top 30 visits.
Yeah, and what you like, let's talk about the Wisconsin wide receiver Bryson Green. Freak.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, over a 10-foot broad jump, 39-inch vertical. So you like what you see there. And the Denver Broncos looking for kind of playmakers, right? Just assets so that you can see how this offense is made up. They're still looking for freakish athletes. And wide receiver may be a late-round pick. Green is considered a late-round pick. So, again, one of those 6th-rounders. Maybe it's for DJ Giddens. Maybe it's for a Bryson Green. But either way, you're doing research on guys that something popped on film, and you want to see more. So I applaud that. And, yeah, it's maybe not clues to the specific player. Sometimes it is. But it may be clues as to what they're looking for at that position.
Okay. All right. Broncos country, you tell us what you think about the top 30 visits. You making anything about the names brought in? How about the positions that were brought in? And are you still team 2 tight ends after the Evan Ingram signing? You can answer those questions on the RamosLaw.com text line, and we'll catch up there. 303-713-1043. Let's call our fourth quarter now.